Next on the stage, we have the winner, Producer of the Year, Jack Antonoff.
Hi.
I'm here. Let's start right here on the front left.
Hey, Jack, congratulations on the back-to-back wins.
Thank you.
I wanted to ask about, you know that for the past few years, and for historically, this has been a pretty overwhelmingly male category. This year, also part of that. What do you think needs to come from the industry to get more women recognized for this award, and also just in general get a bigger seat at the table in the producer role?
I think one thing that's important is for people to cut the distinction between producer and artist. So, for example, every record I've ever produced is actually a co-production if you read the credits. And so a lot of times people like to silo people off. So if I make a record with Lana, for example, right, or Taylor or Claire or someone like that, all female artists, all those albums are produced by the two of us, but people love this idea of sort of producer behind the scenes doing all these things when in truth we're doing them together. So I think it's about looking at the fine print and kind of getting out of the mythology of what we think it is. And then obviously there's largely systemic stuff. Laura Sisk, who engineers all the records with me, came from an engineering school, so she obviously always tells me about the crazy statistics of how many women were in the classes. She does, it does seem like it's changing, but it's obviously really slow going. But I think it's interesting that people should look more into the fine print of who's producing records because of what I said before.
Our next question.
Really interesting question.
Our next question is going to be virtual on the TV in front of you from Variety. Tanya.
What?
Oh, hold on one sec. I think we're having some tech issues.
Having
Just go to one in the room.
Yeah, we can do it in
okay,
person.
sorry, Tanya.
Oh, wait. Nope, we're good.
Hi, how are you?
Yes, Tanya from Variety.
Nice.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I just wanted to know, there's been a lot of, pop princesses that have really tapped you as their producer. And what about those relationships, or what about the music, keeps you coming back and keeps you tied in?
Are you talking about making multiple records with people?
Yeah, I mean, you've got Lana Del Rey,
yes.
You've got Taylor Swift.
They're deep relationships. I mean, it's different for everyone. Sometimes you create a language and then you can speak it in different ways. I mean, at the end of the day, great albums are, they start with the vision and the songs, right? And then you sort of decide what outfit they're going to be in. So for example, I love Bruce, right? But if you really think about Nebraska versus Born to Run, it's just one strip back, one soul production. Like the ethos and the sentiment behind all of it is a songwriter, a voice, a vision. And so if you can speak a language with someone, which is pretty rare, then it almost becomes exciting to try different things and to try on different albums for different albums. But you do things when they're exciting and when you're pushing into the future, right? And I've had a few relationships, not a ton, but a few where and my partners have felt like there's more ground to cover. And if there's more ground to cover, you fucking do it. And if there isn't, then you stop. So, it's a hard thing to articulate because it's really, you do what you're compelled to do. Nice to meet you.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Did we
Man in the front in the flannel?
Yeah.
That was you.
We have one more question on the right.
I thought you raised your hand. Sorry. It's nice to meet you.
I think in the back right.
Hi, my name is Tiffany Red with
How are you?
100 Mag TV. Congratulations.
You say Mad TV?
It's called 100 Mag TV.
Oh, I heard Mad TV and I was like,
Oh, yeah.
sick.
Congratulations on your win. So there's a growing conversation about songwriters and producers and their pay. And so I'm curious what your opinion is on songwriters getting paid a songwriter fee like producers do.
I think the one thing we're learning, if you look at the people, I'll say this, and they think songwriters, producers, artists, fucking everyone, touring musicians. How many broke artists do you know? How many broke people who work in the industry do you know? So there's problems all over the place. I came up in touring, and the touring industry, which I actually know best, right, is actually an interesting example of what's wrong. When you play a show, You carry this shame that you decided to be an artist, so you're just happy to do it because people tell you you're so lucky. You walk in a room, everyone in that room is being paid a decent wage besides you. You have to become so successful before you could turn out a living. The same thing for producers, same thing for writers, the same thing for artists, same thing for everyone. All these other jobs, and other countries do this in different ways. You know, Canada, for example, has a government that has a big respect for their artists, and you can get grants and whatnot. We just need, as a culture, to move past the idea that you're just so fucking lucky to be there, so shut the hell up. Because it's very K-shaped, like all things, where either you're expected to tour or write or produce or perform for nothing because you're so damn lucky, which you are, but you should be compensated, or you have the world in front of you. So it is huge problems, and all you got to do is look at the weird little grin on everyone's face. You know, look, I'm an artist, I'm a producer, I'm a touring artist, I'm a songwriter. I don't fucking know what the streaming deal is. I don't know what's in the black box. You know, we deal with the same stuff. And we're a group of people who don't want to sit around and think about money. We go back to the studio, we go back on tour. So it's tough because we're a very easy group of people historically, and not much has changed to take advantage of because we didn't start doing it because of money. Anyone who is here tonight, anyone at some point made peace with the idea of being broke. At some point, that's what it is to be an artist. It's a bit of a broad answer, but as you can tell, I'm passionate about it. But yeah, you should write about it like crazy. I'm really obsessed with the touring side of it. It's crazy out there.
All right.
It's actually RFK. Yeah. I just like it. Yeah, I think he's an interesting figure. It's not a big statement. I collect a lot of JFK and RFK stuff. I think they're both like incredibly interesting figures for good and bad reasons. And so it's more like it's like I'm wearing a piece of my home.
Thank you, Jack.
Thanks, guys. Oh,
Congratulations.
one more? Yeah, go for it.
Just one, yeah.
Just because touring is so important to you, I'm wondering if you can comment at all about Live Nation. Like, does their position in the industry affect?
The whole thing is incredibly tough. There's no reason why, if I can go online and buy a car and have it delivered to my house, why can't I buy a fucking ticket at the price that the artist wants it to be? So it's that simple, and you know the reason why, and it's not because of artists. So the one thing that I would say while holding a microphone is everyone's got to chill on the artists because everyone's trying to figure it out. Like, we know who's making it impossible. And look, I mean, I've asked very simple things in the industry. Let artists opt out of dynamic pricing, stop taxing merch, and let artists sell tickets at a price that they actually believe. Don't turn a live show into a free market. That's really dirty. Charge what you think is fair, but if one person $50 is nothing and one person $50 is more than they can ever spend, they can both. You're creating a situation where a different group of people can come together at one price. The second everything fluctuates is the second it goes K-shaped and turns into a weird free market. That's not what we do. I could talk about this forever, but thank you guys so much. This is really exciting.
Thank you, Jack, and congrats again.
Didn't mean to get cynical. Love you all.
Come on this way.